Hello and welcome back to another OMNIHEROES video. In this video we're going to have a look at the new non-DD unit, or the new Lightseeker unit, Snow White. So we'll just see what she can do. And just by reading this first one, it looks like she is a bit sexist, to be honest. Fortunately, there are many more females in the teams that you will build to try and counteract Snow White. So let's read. Snow White deals 169 magic damage to all female enemies and goes up to 202% all female enemies. If no female enemies are present, she attacks the enemy in the opposing position. So if she's in position 1, she'll deal damage equal to that 169% magical damage to the enemy opposite her. But it's very unlikely that you're going to have no females in the team, so she's pretty much always going to have a target. Very strong, but we'll see. She is a Dooms, and she really we'll just have to see. So we'll move on to the next one. Snow White deals 68% up to 81% magic damage to all female enemies. So very similar to the first one, so it's called Take This and Shatter. Very cool. But to all female enemies, if no female enemies are present, she attacks the enemy in opposing position. 68 is really low. Like, I thought Schrodinger's attack was really low, or the percentage, the coefficient seemed really low for Schrodinger, but Snow White has taken the biscuit and only increasing up to 81%, which is much less damage than I thought she'd be doing. But again, we'll just have to see how that relates and what her other abilities are as well. So next, her first passive ability. After Snow White takes action, she has a 50% chance to make 2 female enemies attack each other with a basic attack 1 time, and the trigger does increase when she gets up to 11 stars. So very similar to how Mavis's passive works with the last word effect, in that you need to get Mavis up to 11 stars in order to trigger that last word effect. Snow White, apparently you need to get up to 11 stars to unlock that 100% chance for 2 female enemies to attack each other with a basic attack. Can be very strong. It depends if this basic attack, ignores defense, because we have seen it before where Leviathan, for example, when she gets an enemy to attack itself, they ignore their own defense, which means they just go straight down. They just take all the damage in full. A very powerful ability, and if this is anything similar, I think it's going to be really strong, especially because it's on action as well. So when after Snow White takes action. Now, the next ability that she has, that's quite cool. When Snow White's HP drops below 30%, she enters Dark Form. I don't like that 30% restriction. Potentially, it should have been 50%. She enters Dark Form, but damage is increased by 100%. So I think that is why this is so low, this 169% and the 68% as well. I think that is why this is so low, is because when she gets below that 30% damage, it's going to be very tough for her not to do a lot of damage. But again, we'll see. Now, additional effect: for every 5% HP lost, damage is increased by an additional 20%, which is actually really strong. This is unlocked at 12 stars, so you do need to get her up to 12 stars to unlock her full passives. Very cool. 5% HP lost, damage is increased by an additional 20%. So she needs to lose 70% HP. 70 is 12, so 12 times 20 is a lot. 240% additional damage, plus then the 100% damage on top. She's going to be doing an additional 300% damage if you do get her into this Dark Form. Now, what springs to mind for me, drops below that 30%, she enters Dark Form. The Undying Shield combo with Elma. So when you have Elma on the team, you have Undying Shield. Your back row allies can't drop below 30% health. So can you transform with Snow White below 30% health, or with the Undying Shield active? I don't know, but I suspect if you can, because I think what happens is it goes down to 0 and then goes back up to that 30% maximum. I think that Snow White will transform, but I'll have to do some testing on that one with the Undying Shield. We'll just see whether or not it is possible to transform Snow White. I think it will all be based on whether or not you can transform Snow White, as to whether she's any good or not, this dark form. I believe this, with the white hair, this is her dark form, and then you will get her as the normal Snow White here as well. So we'll just have to see. She looks like a very interesting character. Only good against females though, so if you're going up against a male boss, for example Thunderlord, or the big troll, whatever you want, whatever his name is, I don't think she's going to be very effective in there. But she does have a failsafe. If no female enemies are present, she attacks the enemy in the opposing position. So you just pop her in the back middle slot, and then she will swing for the boss. So that is it. We do have, so this is seasonal passive, permanently boosts Snow White's stats, increasing by 44%, 73%, and up to 73%. I think that should be up to 100%. And then the Oath Force is just your basic. If you get her up to 13 stars, she'll have an additional 10% attack, HP, and defense as well. So very, very strong unit. We'll have to see whether or not this dark form is reliably achievable. If it is, then absolutely fantastic. It doesn't say that she receives healing or she heals back, so I think she will just stay below that 20%, or sorry, stay below that 30% dark form. Or when she transforms, she'll stay below 30% HP. It's a shame she doesn't get any damage reduction or anything like that, but she is on Dooms as well, which is noted for their damage reduction in the form of Merlin and Athena as well. Athena should work very, very well with Snow White, specifically because she is an enchanter as well. So getting that additional damage reduction in for the team may just be the key to transforming Snow White reliably. But we'll have to see. Let me know what you think about Snow White and her abilities. Do you think they're going to be any good? Do you think this is a sleeper? Let me know down below. And thanks very much for watching. Hope you have a fantastic day.